This is Mindful Insights Podcast, Episode 3 Creative Thinking: How to Get Out of the Box and Generate Ideas. Welcome to the Mindful Insights Podcast, unlocking clarity one thought at a time, your ultimate destination for a captivating blend of science, book reviews, and so much more. We are here to satisfy your curiosity, whether you are a science enthusiast, bookworm, or simply someone seeking engaging content. Join us as we dissect the wonders of the universe with your Algerian host Fatima and Marwa, and we are excited to guide you through this fascinating journey of knowledge and discovery. When was the last time you came up with something truly new and original? Exercising your creative thinking skills is a critical part of life, no matter the field you work in. So keep listening to know how to become a creative thinker. Sometimes easy means difficult. Have you ever been assigned an easy task which for you is actually very difficult to perform and maybe for anybody else? And that is when you experience frustration. I have experienced that in my beginnings with reading, taking 10 minutes per day. I told myself it's easy, just 10 minutes, not too much. You can stick to it with yourself and it's work it. And it's kind of similar to what happens when a boss comes into a meeting and tells you to think out of the box. Come on, give me your creative ideas. Think out of the box. I want to hear that. I need innovation. Easy, simple, but actually very hard to do. So you need to practice. You need to know how to get out of the box, where to go, and how to come back inside the box. Because that's where we live. We actually live inside our boxes. So I want to ask those questions. I ask them to myself, and this journey, this episode, it's a little journey through these answers. And I hope that some of those answers will resonate with yours. So the first thing is to ask why. Why should we really get out of the box? Because inside the box we feel safe. We agree with everybody else, and when we go out, we risk our reputation. We work so hard for lifetime to build it up. Why should we risk it? Is it something which is luxury that only few people can do, or is it really a necessity? So think of our lives today. We are really a part of a network. We are noticed in a network. We share information in real time, and we, in the end, all possess the same information. That's the end of it, and that is a scary thought. If we all possess the same information, what makes a difference between ourselves? Where does our dignity as human being lie? It really depends on what we generate with the common shared information. So think creatively to go out of the box. Is it not a luxury? It's a necessity for us and for our dignity as human beings. So which box we are talking about? We must have to clear definition to can understand what that box is. So we aren't talking about something specific. Is it not our mind? We cannot think out of our minds. It's boundary within our minds, the boundary between what we know and what we haven't still or yet thought about. What is our mind? What is our knowledge structure? It's an emergent phenomenon out of complex mechanism, which is the brain. We start with initial conditions, our genetic heritage. We have boundary conditions, the environment. We have indirect experience, years and years spent in school and university to learn what other people have thought, what other people have discovered, what other people have created. And then we have our own direct experience, our successes, our failures that really make what we are. All of this builds the anthill within which we live, and we live very well in that. And whatever we think inside that anthill, that box, we feel safe. Whatever is outside, it's invisible to us. We don't know what's outside that's why it's so risky, because nobody else knows, and so we are faced with something which is necessary to our dignity, but actually it's very difficult to do. So let's discover, how do we go out of the box? How do we do that? What are the mechanisms? Do we need to wait for an apple to fall on our heads, or are there some specific techniques? Well, reality is out there for us to perceive it. It's beautiful. You see the flowers when we have a lot of ideas, which is our convergent information, the dominate ideas. Whenever we need to think about an area, focus area, we have ideas on how things should be. We have requirements, we have specification, we know how things are, because that's the way they always have been. But if we want to go out of the box, we need to add something more, little spices, something which goes beyond the convergent information, something wrong, something absurd, something which apparently isn't relevant, something which takes us far. This is what we call divergent information. We need a little bit of that divergent information to cross the borders within our minds, from what we know to what we haven't yet thought about. So this is the essential mechanism that is necessary, and it takes us to a place where we don't really know where to go. We are suspended. It's like the middle game in chess. Where do you go once you are out of the box? You have no preset direction. So it's really a potential situation that brings us to a feeling that we should immediately go back. This doesn't make any sense. Let's go back to a safe place. Let's go back inside the box. That's a temptation that we need to resist. We need to value long thinking. Normally, we talk about brilliant thinking, fast thinking, deep thinking, but here we are talking about something different, long thinking. What does that mean? It's some thought that takes us far. It's as if you were reading a poetry or listening to music. You don't judge the single notes. You don't judge the single word. It's the ensemble that gives you a feeling and takes you far. We must do the same thing with our concepts. We need to go far, and so we can use association of ideas, combination of ideas, extraction of principles, and application of those principles to areas where they were never applied before. We need to be open-minded. We need to be fluent, look for alternatives and not for the correct answer, because when you think creatively, there is no single correct answer. There are many possible alternatives, and suppose now that we are lucky, we land up upon a new idea in our travel, in the exploration out of the box. What is the value of that? How do we assess the value of new idea? It's very difficult if it's really new, because you have never seen that before. Nobody else has seen that before. It's as if we landed on a new planet, totally undiscovered territory, and it's difficult to understand the value of something new. First of all, because we don't feel entitled to be innovators. Who am I to be the generator of that new idea? And probably this has been thought about before. If this correct, somebody else would have done it before. Those are all natural mechanisms with which we kill our own ideas. We have to resist that. We have to look for the math between the new idea and our initial drive, our initial or evaluate the idea per se for its own value, and maybe see that that's something that solves another problem which was not yours. Yours happens all the time We just need to have the eyes to see that, to notice the difference. Okay, but we are social animals. We live in environments, so to think out of the box, bringing new ideas is going to challenge the environment. When is it a good idea to challenge everybody around you? Is your working environment, you have the boss, you don't really want to upset him or her. When is it a good idea to think out of the box? Well, first of all, if the environment punish mistakes, you will never be really tempted to get out of the box. You will remain safely in a known environment. So if you want to simulate an environment which is creative, you need to allow the existence of divergent information. You need to allow irrelevant information to come in. You have to mix and match different disciplines. You have to use metaphors in the organization. Only in that case, you will allow the environment to be really prone to the generation of new ideas. So I want to end my talk with the little experiment. We wanted to do this interactively with you, but the time is scarce, so I have to. I have needed prepared a little thing. But if you believe me, and to be honest, this has been generated in the space of a few minutes. The generation of ideas, this travel outside of the box, is something which happens very fast. So, where should we experiment? Okay, let's say that we want to generate new ideas for our podcast, for a problem. It's for anything that require from you to think. And remember, creative thinking is a skill that can be developed and improved with the practice. Incorporate these approaches into your daily life and problem solving processes to enhance your ability to think creatively. So I will repeat the techniques that I mentioned above to come back to them later. So the first idea is divergent thinking. Allow yourself to think freely and come up with as many ideas as possible without judging or filtrating them. Quality over quantity over quality is key at this stage. Write down every idea that comes to your mind, even if it seems impractical or unconventional. Second, mind mapping. Start with central concepts or problem and create a visual diagram by branching out related ideas and association. Third, reverse thinking. Instead of approaching a problem or challenge from a conventional perspective, try flipping it around and consider the opposite. This reversal can help uncover fresh insights and alternative solutions. The fourth, change your environment. Sometimes a change of scenery can simulate new ideas. Go for a walk or in different location, or immerse yourself in nature to clear your mind and gain fresh perspectives. The fifth, research and inspiration. Explore resources such as books, articles, documentaries, or art that are unrelated to your immediate topic. Often, interdisciplinary connection can spark new ideas and enhance your creative thinking. The sixth, embrace constraints. Set specific constraints or limitations to force yourself to think creatively within those boundaries. This can foster innovative solutions and challenge your thinking beyond the usual limitation. And yes, that's what we have for today. And if you like our podcast creating, join our growing community by following our podcast. We love hearing from you, our listeners. Share your favorite episodes on social media and let's build this community together. Your support helps us to continue creating content you love. See you soon. Bye.